Welcome. I'm going to be gratuitous, I tell you, in my conversation this afternoon. Um, so I want to start with what it is we do and what it is that you do and how I do this. So let me just tell you about my working week. I just want to give people a little bit of insight because I think sometimes people think that I just sit on YouTube and then everything is hunky dory and it all just works seamlessly and there's no effort. So let me just tell you. Um, I get up. I used to take my children to school. Now I'm so lucky that I don't. Um, I come in here and I work all day, like a 9 to 5, and then sometimes I work in the evenings. Most evenings I am actually in this office, and then some weekends. And what happens is you design something. I mean, even uploading something to the website costs an awful lot of time. And I have four full time, well paid employees because whilst I'm all right, Jack, I'm all right not earning enough to pay my bills. I just feel it would be exploitative and somewhat weird if I was in the business of exploiting other women's labor, right? So then the other things that cost money is obviously the this office costs a little bit of money, although not too much because I'm quite lucky. I know the landlord; he gives me decent rates. Oh, that's because he's my husband. Um, and then the other things that happen is we design, we buy, somebody does the content, somebody does the printing, somebody else helps do all the other content, and then there's somebody else who's a bit of a manager of everybody. And that's where some of the money goes. The other money goes at least £1,500 now every time I go and do an event for whatever reason, for security. Sometimes it's a lot more than that. Obviously, when we go to more expensive countries, when I'm talking about other countries, it costs significantly more than that. What else is it that we do? I obviously need all this equipment, although that's bought and paid for. The barrister to get this political party has cost thousands. And every event that we go to, it's not just about the security, but there's also accommodation, there's travel costs, and there's other associated costs like might be booking bars, might be printing leaflets, tabards, etc., etc., etc. These are the sort of things that cost just crazy amounts of money, and everything takes a lot of time. Now, we don't have people on professional salaries here. There's not anybody on crazy money in this place, but these are well paid people. Okay, that's the first thing. Let me just tell you. And then the other things that we do is we now, as locals, we are advocates. I certainly am happy to escort anybody to any medical appointments. I've got quite a few of my own coming up. So I'm happy to escort people to medical appointments, to any place where they need to be an advocate. This is something that Let Women Speak does. And I don't know about you, but I genuinely think this is the most welcoming, inclusive organization. We aren't having to pretend that we cater for everyone and everybody. We aren't pretending that we cater for men here at Let Women Speak. Therefore, we don't actually get any grants or government grants or uh, philanthropic grants from other places by sort of towing that particular line, and fair play to those that do, but it's just not a compromise I'm willing to make. I'm not gonna pretend that we are also working in the interests of men here here at Let Women Speak. Our primary focus, our only focus is women and by virtue children. So that's that's a lot of what we do here. Um, I also do TV appearances. I sometimes write articles. Quite frankly, I haven't really got the time to write very many articles, but I do write some articles. I'm often asked to comment on different things about this issue. So those are the sort of things we do. We don't compromise our language. We don't pretend that we're for everyone. That isn't something that we want to do here at Standing for Women and Let Women Speak. I don't want to have to do that. in order to get money. So the way that I have to do that, the way that I have to get money, because everything costs so much money, nothing is free. And if I wasn't doing this, I think my husband would like me to go out and earn a decent salary because, quite frankly, uh, I think I'm deserving of a good salary. I think I can definitely market things. I'm a good strategist. I'm pretty talented when it comes to a number of things that would help generate quite a lot of money for someone else and somebody else's organization. And then maybe I wouldn't have the weight of all this upon my shoulders. But I've chosen this because, probably like most of you, I actually can't not do it until we win. And that's what Let Women Speak is about. It's about changing the public consciousness so that when we do enter into politics, which is going to be sooner rather than later, but when we do enter into politics, we already are responsible for shaping much of the political landscape in this country. And I do think we have. I do think every time you talk about it, I had a friend of mine not very long ago get chastised in her place of work. She actually works for a very large private school in the southeast of England, and they were saying, "Oh, we somebody sent in a photo of you in a t-shirt, and da 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 da," da, and she got disciplinary at work in a school, in a very woke middle class school in the southeast. Um, and then when the meeting was over, the head of the school then said then said, "Oh, by the way, I totally agree with you. I'm a big fan of Posie Parker. Do you know her? She does these big events, blah, 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 blah." And then my friend said, "Yes. She's one of my oldest friends. We went to university together." So we are definitely that what I set out to achieve here, we are definitely getting it done, but our opposition is huge. And I live in the middle of nowhere. Nothing of any consequence happens in this town. I'm quite happy to live here, but nothing of consequence happens in this town. And as you know, if you listened to me over the last couple of days, probably yesterday, when I went to a medical appointment, the receptionist at the doctor's, and therefore the entire doctor's surgery is totally captured. Now that's how it happens. You just need one person to pretend to be mortally offended, um, in order to change the way that everybody speaks about this particular issue and how women then just fall by the wayside. And I remember quite some time ago, my kids went to a Catholic primary school, and there were a lot of quite middle class women there, and there was a middle class female. I don't know if she was a GP or she might have been a consultant. And somebody mentioned International Women's Day. This is before it was captured by the TRAs. And she said, "Oh, it's going a little too far, isn't it?" Because often these women, these professional women, they don't they don't need anything to do with women's rights. They don't really care whether or not you can go about you can go to the gym or the local swimming baths and not have someone stare through a tiny hole that they've drilled between your changing room and theirs. In unisex changing rooms, they don't care about that because they're above it. They don't need to protect these spaces. Oh, anyway, so what I've decided to do, because I want to plan some foreign trips. I want to be able to go to the United States of America. I think it's going to be a very important year. I need to go to Canada. I need to go back to Ireland. We also need to go to Edinburgh. Um, where else would I like to go this year? I'd like to go again to maybe the northwest, northeast of England. Um, Something else in the Midlands somewhere. And obviously in the southeast, I really, really want to go somewhere in the southeast. And I think maybe another part of London would be a good idea, just besides Hyde Park. But we haven't been to France, we haven't been to Germany, we haven't been to Belgium. Um, we haven't stood outside of the European Parliament. We haven't been to Spain. There's so many places. Japan is starting on this absolutely crazy journey, and all these things, they do cost money, and that's what I'm asking for today. I'm afraid I don't like doing it, but I feel that it needs to be said. So I have put some things in the sale. I don't think this is one of them, but I think these are about £10. Too much light there. So that's a sparkly woman little bag. Good for dividing into your handbag if your handbag is enormous. If you want to put some important things in there, if you want makeup, if you want to keep some personal things in a drawer in your house, that's pretty lovely. It also makes a very good, handy activist piece, but also um, also delightfully affordable. So let me just say this: in order to put on an event in the United Kingdom, especially if it involves an overnight stay, so let's say it's Leeds, um, now that will cost about 250 of these for that. And actually, it probably costs a little bit more than that because I do cover some other people's expenses. So you might need to I might need to part with, and not including how much they cost me. So I might need to part with about 500 of these bags to be able to go to Leeds. This amazing kitchen billboard, tea towel. You might call it a tea towel. These are in the sale. So 3 of the 7 designs are in the sale. Right now, you can buy all of them for about £57. So you can buy every one. Then we've got some of these. So this is the blue version of this with turquoise. This one has a slight mark on the decal. Can I just say? Oh, I can see it. It's a slight line across the A, the L, and the E. There's just a tiny line. So we're going to sell that to you for £20. So we're going to do a massive, you need to subscribe to letwomenspeak.org or to letwomenspeak.store if you want to see this. So by tomorrow morning, perhaps I would say Sunday morning. By Sunday morning, we will have this massive, massive sale where you lovely people can get your hands on some of this stuff. I mean, we're going to sell it for less of your English pounds than we actually bought it for. So, okay. So next, this is a black version of that. So it's got lovely. Can you see that? So that little bag's under a tenner. This one, I think. Let me just check. Excuse me. How much are we selling that for? Nobody can hear you. You don't know. I think it's half price. I think it's something crazy like £7.50, and we've got lots of different colours of those. This female tea towel is, I think it's about £7.50, maybe 8. So that's this one. That's cheaper than a poster. It would suit you, Rebecca, the black one. Then we've got that's one of our women's fit hoodies with the black gloss. Basically, every time we've ever made something mistakenly, so say somebody's ordered a large and we've made a medium, or every time maybe one of the diamantes has to be actually, after the printing, we might have to just correct one of the placements, or maybe there's a slight mark in this, or maybe there's no mark at all. But all of those things I want out of my office. So in my other office, it's absolutely full to the brim. So they're all gonna go out of my office. And it would be great if we could have some sort of boost so that we can plan these trips properly. I've got Exeter coming up and I've got London. So just those two, we're looking at sort of 3,500-4,000 pounds just to do those. Now, why is that? Why do I need security people? Well, because I get death threats, and because I've been physically attacked. If I wasn't doing this, uh, if I wasn't the person that I am, if I hadn't done the things that I've done, if I hadn't raised the consciousness at all, I wouldn't need security wherever I go. But it's because I've done this that I do need security, especially when TRAs are around. I do think about it very carefully. I only go with the absolute minimum. Often, my security advisor has basically said that I need many more people, but I can't start. I can't start going out to do events with like £4,000 worth of security. And no matter how much somebody might tell me that I need it, it's just it's just not feasible. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And this is what the people who oppose us actually rely on. They rely on the fact that they make it so difficult for me to go out and speak, so difficult for you guys to come out, because I don't know anybody else who can organise an event like we can here at Let Women Speak. It's grassroots. It's grown so beautifully. Other people have maybe used our name, or and people have gone along, but we do this. This is what we do. This is what the stewards and Iris and myself and the regulars. This is what we've built. And because we've built this, and because it's so successful, there are people that really, really, really want to um, stop me from doing anything. Um, Somebody said postage costs are it's extortionate to post from the UK. It really is. Since I've been doing this, postage costs have gone up by about 40%. In that's just such a large amount of money. I think it's gone from about 95 pence for a large letter, which you can fit one t-shirt into, and I think now it's about 180 with the post office. And obviously we've got postage and packaging, and we have to go to the post office because where we live, our post office shuts at 10 o'clock in the morning. So we have to drive to a drop in order to make sure that we meet the postman. It's mad. Um, okay. Can I just say to those people, look, what I have to do, what I have to do is I have to ensure that everything that we do here actually generates enough money to pay wages, and to do events. That's where everything goes. We're just about to submit our accounts at the end of the year, and that's where everything goes. It just goes back into being able to put on these events to encourage more and more people to speak. Going to New Zealand obviously costs an absolute fortune. I think security alone was about 15,000. Um, Actually, it wasn't. It was 10. But there was Australian costs as well. And what happens then is it does, it kind of does bring the money back, and the exposure you just couldn't pay for. Because of New Zealand, I ended up on the television with Megyn Kelly. Because I was on the television with Megyn Kelly, I changed her mind about pronouns, and now Megyn Kelly is a really fierce advocate in the United States of America. When Riley Gaines went to her NCAA championships, she heard me say he's a man and he's a cheat. She was in there after just winning the race, and she heard me shout, "He's a man." And Riley has said this. I don't know if it's 100% true. I've no reason to doubt her, but she said that moment was enough to help her speak out, and I think you'll agree she's speaking out wonderfully for sportswomen right across the world. Anyway, the other things that you will see this evening, that you see on the website. I think I've got too much. Let me just twist my light. You might be able to see it better now. Okay. So we've got, this is I wonder why it's so weird, the light. So this is a trans, like, I think it might actually be my computer screen. So that says "We Hate Women" with a trans flag. So those are going to be on sale tomorrow. And then we have the little cat, just because I love him so very much. Sorry, the dog that I love so very much. I don't know if you can see the details of these. So they have a nice banana and satsumas. It's a men's sexual rights, so they're the new design for those. The old ones are still available if you like them. And then we've got a lovely anime, "Women Don't Have Penises." So there is literally something for everyone. And it really makes a difference. Look, mermaids, Stonewall, no outsiders, all of these people, um, they've all got significant hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of grants from governments to lie to our children, to poison their minds, and sometimes poison their bodies. So we don't have that. We don't have anywhere near that. So I'm afraid that I am going to sell these wares to you so that you can help us get as much in as possible, so that we can really finish this fight. And who knows how much more the political party will cost. I'm sure it will cost many more thousands, but it is going to be worth it. Um, to have a proper voice, to look, Nigel Farage never had I don't know what is the matter with me. Nigel Farage never had a seat in Parliament. He was never an MP, and he got us taken out of the European Union. And he was repeatedly featured on Question Time and other news channels. And I don't care whether you agree with Brexit. I don't care if you like Nigel Farage. It's not the point I'm making. The point is that just by being part of the political democratic system in this country, we get to have a voice like no other. This is not writing letters. This is not sitting around tables. This is not sitting as witnesses while some MPs talk about stuff. This is not even being the pets of some MPs, and considering yourself kind of close to MPs. This is not that. This is actually having a proper voice. It's, as you all know, I'm not polite enough to invite to some of the very special lunches and events where it's all, some sort of turf royalty. I don't get to go to those, but that I feel is as close as some people will ever get. And I don't want to be in the party. I want to be the host. Um, I don't want us to be asking other people to ask other people if they could possibly ask someone else, or if I could go and see someone who maybe will write a letter on my behalf. I don't want to do that. I don't feel it's direct and quick enough for us. Um, so anyway, look, I don't have any patience. And that's why I think I get things done. I don't I've never worked in a professional job where you had to sort of ask and then wait around and blah blah blah. The thing I did long before I had my children, um, is I worked in sales, and my sales were you phone somebody up, you get them on the phone, you get them into a meeting and you sell. And because I was really good at my job, because I have no patience, even after I left the first company I ever worked for, I held the record for the highest grossing deal for 6 years after I left. And that's because I know that I can get things done very, very, very quickly. I'm really good at what I do. Um, and I hope that you feel that what we're doing here at Let Women Speak is good. Um, and look, instead of doing this, I could have gone and got myself a sales job or a job in marketing, and I could have made an obscene amount of money. But this is the thing that I've most wanted to do in my whole life. Like, besides my kids and my husband, this is the thing that I'm most passionate about in my whole life. And I sort of tongue in cheek say I never lose, but I genuinely don't. I really, really don't. The things I want are the things I get. And if that makes me sound obnoxious, then so be it. I don't really care. As long as we win, I don't actually care at all. Okay, so uh, if you can help me, help us, um, get to this finish line as quickly as possible, and then I can go back to my life. Whatever that looked like beforehand, I have no idea. Um, But we wanna do this quickly. I haven't got patience. Processes really annoy me. I don't see why we have to wait around for the government to say, "No, no child is trans. We won't have any of that nonsense in our schools." I don't know why we have to wait for that. It's not a difficult thing to say. And for all the people smuggling, I don't. Keir Starmer said something nice. Oh, I've always, I used to work with violence of women and girls, and so I've always cared about women and girls. And you just think, did you? Did you? Because I didn't think you knew what one was. And oh yeah, women do deserve single sex spaces. And I'm thinking, yeah, but Labour have already said they think single sex includes men. It's just please don't celebrate that, ladies. Just ask. Look, there is no point celebrating the most perfect cake before it's out the oven. And I do feel that that's what loads of women are doing right now. They're going, "Oh, he put margarine in the cake. He put some sugar in the cake. Oh my god, he knows how to make a cake. He put sugar in the cake." No, that's not how. That's not it. The proof is in the pudding. Is in the eating. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. And right now, I haven't even got anything hot in front of me. So, too many jokes. Okay, right. Much love to you. Look, if you can come to Exeter, I think it's going to be great. Actually, Exeter. I think the shopping's quite good. So, take your spending money. In fact, maybe I will take some stickers to sell on these things. Maybe we'll start doing that. So if you would like to come to Exeter and stand amongst women and feel and taste what the pilgrimage is actually all about, um, if you can do that, then I promise we will win. If you have to hang on and come to Hyde Park at the end of the month, the last Sunday, then I promise we will win. And do you know why else we're going to win? Because I never lose.